Hello and welcome back to another episode of Math with Zone. Today, we are going to be figuring out how to find the sum of interior angles of any shape and the exterior angles. Let's get into it. So, there are a few things you need to know about the interior angles versus exterior angles. The sum of the interior angles of any shape goes up with the amount of sides. So if you have a triangle, that equals 180. But if you add a side, you add an additional 180. So a four-sided figure would be 360. But if it had five sides, like a pentagon, that would be 180 more. Every time you add a side to the shape, you add 180 degrees. So this would be 540, and it just goes up and up and up and up. Now, there is also a formula you can use instead of just counting by 180. It's called 180 n minus 2. That would be the sum of the interior angles. That is, all the interior angles added together would follow that formula, and n represents the number of sides. The exterior angles is even easier. The sum of the exterior angles, all the exterior angles, no matter how many sides, is always going to be equal to 360 degrees. Every time it will equal 360. If it is a regular polygon, then that's a little different, because if it's a regular polygon, then that means all the angles and all the sides are equal. So if you wanted to find each individual interior angle of a regular, it has to be a regular polygon, you would take the 180 and the n minus 2, and then take it and divide by however many sides you have. And that would be an individual, not the sum, interior angle. Boy, I spelled those a little sloppy. I'm sorry. The exterior angles of a regular polygon is just 360 divided by n would be the individual exterior angle. And the number of sides of a regular polygon is called n. Okay, so that's just representing n is equal to the number of sides. Number. All right, so what would that look like in practice? All of these formulas actually don't mean too much. You just have to be able to plug them in to be able to solve the problems. So what is the sum of the measures of an interior angles of a pentagon? Well, a pentagon has 5 sides. So the sum of the interior angles means my n is going to be 5, and I do 180 times 5 minus 2. So I'm going to do 180 times 5 minus 2. Sorry for the beeping. And that is going to be what I get. And if I do 180 times 5 minus 2 in my calculator, or 180 times 3, I get 540 degrees. And that's it. All right. Now this next one, this one's going to be a little bit bigger because it's the sum of the measures of the interior angles of a 27-agon. A 27-agon is a lot of sides. That is going to be a very big number because the more sides you have, the more interior angles just keep getting bigger. We have to do 180 times 27 minus 2. I am definitely going to need a calculator for that. 180 times 27 minus 2, or 25, is 4,500 degrees. Quite the big number. What is the measure of each interior angle of a regular octagon? Well, a regular octagon means that all the sides are equal, and an octagon has 8 sides to begin with. So what is the measure of each individual interior angle? We use our 180 n minus 2 divided by n formula. So we have to do 180 times 8 minus 2. We're going to get an answer from that, and then we're going to divide that answer by the number of sides, which is 8. So 180 times n minus 2, which is 180 times 8 minus 2 is times 6. You're going to get 1080 from that, which apparently means that the total amount of angles in an octagon is 1080, but you have to divide that evenly by 8 to get the individual, which is 135 degrees. All right? So, sometimes they give you some of the angles, and you have to find what's missing. What is the angle of the sixth angle? So a hexagon has 6 sides and therefore 6 angles. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them given to us. We're looking for the 6th one. Well, in order to do this, I need to know what is the sum of the interior angles of a hexagon. So I'm going to have to do 180 times n minus 2, it's 6 minus 2. And that would be 180 times 4 is equal to 720 degrees. So if all of the angles add to 720, and I already have these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, I just have to take these away from 720. So I'm going to take those away from 720. I'm going to subtract the 119. I'm going to subtract the 129. I'm going to subtract the 104 and the 139 and the 95. All of them away from 720. If I subtracted all of those, I get 135 degrees left over for that 6th angle in order for it to total to 720. All right? So that's going to be how some of the easy problems are. Some of the more difficult problems are not any more difficult, but they are on the very high level of annoying factor. Okay? So, before we do that, I do want to talk about exterior angles a little bit more. So, exterior angles we haven't talked about yet, other than they have to always add to 360 degrees. So if the exterior angle of a regular polygon is 9 degrees, that means that each and every exterior angle is only 9 degrees. How many sides does it have? Well, always, the exterior angles always add to 360. Okay. So if all of the exterior angles on this regular polygon add to 360, I can just divide that by 9 and I'll get the number of sides. You can always divide 360 by the number of sides or the angle of each one to get the sides. Doesn't matter. It's just 360 divided every time. So 360 divided by 9 is 40 sides. Good grief, that's a lot of sides. All right. And now, without further ado, we get the problems that nobody likes to do. And that's these. They're not any harder, but apparently this is too easy of a concept, so occasionally some teachers, including myself, like to make an equation that is, without a better word, very long and hard to do, potentially. Either way, we have to figure out how many sides we have here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. So we have to do 180 times 6 minus 2 to get the total interior angles. And in this case, it's 720 degrees. That is the total inside or interior angles. So that means if I were to add up all these angles, it equals 720. So we've done these with triangles where you have to add up all the angles to equal 180. Now it's just not equal to 180. It equals 720. And you have a lot to add. We have to do 110 and 8x minus 1 and 5x plus 36 and 116 and 7x plus 19 and 6x minus 2. All of those add to 720. Whew. Well, don't panic. All right, there's a lot of like terms here. We got 8x, 5x, 7x, and 6x. We just have to combine all those x's. So if I add 8 with 5 with 7 and 6, we would have in total 26 x's. And then I have to combine the 110 the negative 1, 36, 116, 19, and the negative 2. I got to add all those together. So I got 110 with a minus 1, or a negative 1, combined with 36 and 116 and 19 and a negative 2, combined total to 278, and that would equal 720. So it's really just a lot of combining like terms, but it's not that hard after you combine the like terms. We just subtract 278. It's a big number, but we got a calculator. 26x would equal 720 minus 278, 442. When we divide by 26, divide by 26, divide by 26, we get x is equal to 17. And once you get x equals, you can plug it in to find different angles if you need to, but you don't always have to. Just like here, all we had to do was solve for x. All right, that's going to do it for this episode. Until next time, everybody stay positive, and I will see everybody later. Bye.